What's good, everybody? It's Joe, and I come back at you on another video. So for this video, I want to title this one "Amazing People Are Everywhere," and this video is tied to my recent trip to Mexico because that trip was just super eye-opening. I had an amazing time. I had a blast. It was just amazing, immersing myself in another culture, and it was just a hell of an experience. And I would definitely go back if the opportunity presents itself to go back in the future. I would love to go back. It was a 10-day trip. We went to 3 different cities, and interesting part about that trip is I met amazing people. All 10 days, amazing people that that they care about the people around, that they care about the world around them, right? So I mentioned this because when I was first planning the trip to Mexico with my friends, right? I told my family about it, and their first reaction was, be careful. That was their first reaction when I told them about the trip. And I understand that it comes from a place of love, of them wanting me to be careful, right? Because, of course, I'm going to another country that I've never been to. But I also know that it stems from a place of fear because in their mind, all they know are just the stereotypes and the propaganda that have been pushed to them by media about what Mexico is, right? Where, according to the media, that in Mexico is just a lot of drugs, a lot of crime, a lot of bad things happening, et cetera, et cetera. That's all you hear in the media about this country. And when I went, I had the complete opposite experience, right? Like, it ended up being one of the most fun, joy-filled experiences I've had. And it's a place that I would certainly enjoy returning to on vacation because just amazing people were everywhere. It felt like it didn't matter if I was going to a restaurant to eat, didn't matter if I was going to a bar, didn't matter if it was like an Uber drive, if I was getting tacos at the stand, right? It just felt like everyone was respectful, everyone was nice. It felt like a culture filled with love and respect, and it just filled me with so much joy and love because I got to see the true side of Mexico. And it was funny because me and my friends, so I went on the trip with 2 of my close friends, my fraternity brothers, and we had the same conversation too. We said, isn't it crazy how the media and propaganda just pushes image of these places, but then when you go and experience it, it's nothing like what they say. Now, of course, granted, there might be some truth to it, but that's how they build a stereotype, right? It can be one incident happens and they'll sort of label an entire country as based on this one incident or these things, and then that would be the entire perspective shifted. That would be the entire perspective of the country. When I went, I experienced nothing but great things. Like, it was right. You would see kids running around that are happy. You would see families that are going out together. You would see, people socializing and mingling. You would see just, it was just an overall great time. And I felt like during that trip, I've came across so many amazing people that I consider friends. And if I ever wanted to return, I can contact them. And I know, like, whether it's like a tour guide or something, right? Like, I can contact them and we can reconnect and essentially pick up where we left off, right? So this is what I mean by being a free thinker and being open-minded, because you can be fed information your entire life about something and you can believe it to be true because you're just going off the information that you're hearing from other people or experiences from other people, but your experience can be totally different. Now, imagine I had decided to accept all the ideas of the country of Mexico being this scary, dangerous place, right? And I decided not to go. I would have missed out on one of the greatest trips that I've been in, that I've experienced in my entire life, right? And I would have missed out on all the great experiences I've had and all the amazing people. It was not hard to find because it felt like every person I came across was beneficial or helpful in some way, shape, or form, right? They were respectful. I just can't even put it to words, but I just felt Like I was filled with so much love and gratitude, and I felt that that was being reciprocated to me the entire time. So this is what I mean when I say there are amazing people everywhere, because people who are closed-minded will just go off of the information that they hear from external sources, and that would be their reality. How they're that's how they think everything is. But then you go out and see things for yourself, and you're just like, there's this falls flat on his face. This isn't true. In the case with the Mexico trip, amazing people everywhere. It's not that people are bad people. They're good people. The good people here are no different than the good people everywhere else. They're just, these people are good people just trying to, you know, make a living for themselves and trying to live their lives and do things the right way and do right by other people. Amazing people everywhere. It wasn't hard for me to find that. I came across great people every single day. People I shared laughs with. People I can consider friends. Like people that I was able to connect with and spend time with and share conversations with. Right? People who actually have told me that they lived in the United States for some time, but decided to go back to Mexico and actually come back and live in Mexico because they felt more comfortable in Mexico, right? This one example with this bartender. So I was at a rooftop bar, and this bartender, he was speaking English with us. Like he was fluent in both languages, and he told us that at one point early in his life, he moved to Los Angeles because he wanted to experience what that was like, and he lived there, but he didn't enjoy it as much because he said that he felt that he worked just to pay rent because everything was so expensive in Los Angeles. So he wasn't a fan of it. And after a few months there, he moved right back to Mexico. And he says that, he felt most comfortable in Mexico and that he's going to continue living in Mexico because in Mexico, has a much better standard of living. He's more comfortable. Everything that he needs is there. And, that's just where he feels at peace. So it's interesting, right? Because you hear all the time, that all these immigrants, that the dream is the American dream and all these things, right? And then it's like you have someone here who went and lived in the United States and experienced what that was like and said, you know what, I'm actually more comfortable in Mexico, and went right back to Mexico. So it's, don't allow media or other places to just try to put out stereotypes, right? Be a free thinker, be open-minded, right? Of course, these cities exist because people live here. People live in these cities. People live in these areas. There's normal people raising families. There's plenty of people who are working and are enjoying their lives living there. And for me to travel there and meet these people, right? They were great people, were caring, loving, and showed great service and was respectful. And it felt that me being there felt no different than me being in the United States. It felt no different than me being in New York or anywhere else. It felt the same. So this is what I mean, where amazing people are everywhere. You just have to open your mind up and be aware of it. And once you have that awareness, it's not hard to find. It's not hard to find someone who's just an honest person who's just trying to do good by themselves and by the world around them. And I was able to experience that and see that during my trip. Every single day came across, didn't matter who they were or what they were doing, right? I was able to have a conversation with them, to share a laugh with them, to learn about their lives, for me to share about my life. And it was just all around a great experience. And it just goes to show you that, literally just not the best way I could say, just amazing people are everywhere. But basically, I just wanted to put out this video to ask you guys to be open-minded, to know that you can connect, well, certainly to travel, right? Because traveling is what opens your mind up to other cultures and to remind you that another world outside of your own exists, and that it's okay for you to learn about that world, to explore it, right? Because then you'll realize that at the end of the day, we're all just human. It doesn't matter what country we're from, our religion, our beliefs, right? Sex, whatever bracket or classification they try to put to divide us or segment us or to classify us, right? That at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all great people just trying to do right by ourselves and by everyone else. And it's not hard to see in places outside of your own and other cultures, right? It's easy to see because everyone is inherently a good person, and they're just trying to live their lives as best as they can. And it's no different for any country around the world. So just wanted to leave you guys with that brief video and this reminder, right? Hopefully this helps open your mind up, and hopefully you begin traveling to other places, because then you'll soon realize that this is indeed the case. So once again, this is Joel, and I'm out. See you guys for the next video.